Hello, 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 my loves, my angels. Thank you for joining me on my channel, Guided Leap of Faith. I hope that you've been enjoying some of the other videos. If you are a returning viewer, if you are a new viewer, I hope that my reading resonates with you and you will return for another reading. Like, share, and subscribe. And hit the notification bell to alert you when I'm doing another reading. Okay? So today we're going to work with the makeshift cards and see what's out here. See if we can get some personalization about the person that's on your mind. Okay? Collective. So, okay, I already have things jumping out at me. But let me say my prayer before we get started. Dear God, I call on you to use me as a tool to help the collective on their healing journey. If there is a message for a certain individual, may you guide them to my channel. May my spirit guides and my good archangel protect me from any harm and negative influences. Okay, I don't know why it just seems like a little dull in here today. Might just be me. But let's see. Let's see what comes out. And we might clarify some things that come out depending upon what comes out, okay? Alright. Alright, T, what is the spirit guys that you wanted to tell the collective about the person on their mind? Let's see. I don't know if these fell or jumped out, so alright, we'll take it. Stick that right there for a second. Alright, so we have hiding my sexuality. So someone that you were dealing with is hiding their sexuality. And with that, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're engaged in the same sex. However, it could mean that. But they could just have sexual fetishes, or they could have a sexual addiction, okay? Or there's just things that they like. They could like online hookups. It could be paying for sex, okay? They could be doing threesomes, 212 when I say that. But it's just something about their sexuality that they're not sharing with you. They could be bisexual, okay? Or they could like, they could like a little, for one a little kinky. Maybe they want you to dress up. Maybe they want to dress up. Maybe they want to wear women's clothing, and maybe they want to be spanked. It just might be some things about their sexuality that they didn't express with you because maybe they didn't know, they didn't feel comfortable, or maybe they didn't know how you would view them. Okay, so it's just hiding my sexuality. Someone who likes to drink beer. Okay, so you do have someone that likes to drink beer. This is a green. So with this green, it does speak about the heart chakra. So this is somebody who, and the heart chakra is associated with like balance in relationships and compassion. So this is someone who may or may not have some balance in their relationships or need to balance their relationships, okay? It can also speak about dependence, relationship problems, and separation. So this could be somebody that you're in separation with, someone who has a dependency, and with this same drink beer, they could have like, they could overindulge in drinking beer. They could also be using drinking beer a lot lately to cope with things, okay? Because they're dealing with some relationship issues. All right. Then we have damn, damn, damn. Leave me alone. So someone has, somehow found themselves in a toxic relationship that they may be trying to remove themselves from, and this person won't let them go. This person's being a bugaboo. Somebody wants to out of the relationship and the other's trying to hold on too tightly for it, especially with this. And I told you, this talks about maybe separation, okay? So this person who's drinking beer could be trying to separate from someone or want someone to just leave them alone, and they won't, okay? And with this color, it represents sacral, so that's the sacral chakra, your second chakra. So this does talk about emotions and sensuality. So someone is right, maybe had an addiction, or someone that this whoever was intimate, and this someone could be you, collective. So I mean, I'm not going to discard that. It could be you that don't want to leave someone alone, okay? And they want to be left alone, and you're just so determined to hold on to this relationship. This can also, like the sacral, can also talk about emotional instability. It could talk about guilt, shame, and sexual problems. So, the person on your mind collective could be dealing with some intimacy. If it's a man, if it's a woman, she could just not be heating up downstairs or not able to really, have those orgasms. We're adults. This is over 18 channel. So she could have some problems down there. Okay. But this is somebody who is they want to break away from someone. And I feel like this person, like, we'll see, they could have told you they want to be left alone. I'm sure because it's saying damn, leave me alone. Like, this person has expressed that they no longer want to be in a relationship with you, or to the person they're trying to get away from. But you're determined to have, like, maybe you're seeking closure, or maybe that person's seeking closure, maybe that person just don't want to let go for some reason because they're still in love, or still, attracted, or sexually have an addiction, or feel like this person is addiction to them. They just want to have some type of union or relationship with them, and this person just wants to break free. Okay. And they're having a hard time. So somebody can have a dairy intolerance. Okay. Move this so I can put this card there. So they could be lactose intolerant or have issues, they could be dealing with some stomach issues. Okay. So then we have, like, the Disney character Rapunzel, someone who's curious, willing to step outside their comfort zone. And this comes under hiding my sexuality. So, this is interesting that with this card to come out that say that somebody is curious and wanting to step outside their comfort zone, because that's somebody that wants to explore different they have a sexual appetite and they want to explore different things sexually. Okay. We have the color yellow. So somebody, that could be their color. He see my wall behind you guys. You see I like yellow. But they could like yellow, have a yellow wall like me, car, anything. We're wearing yellow at the time, yellow nail polish. But yellow also reflects, like, your solar plexus, your third chakra. So with that, it talks about, like, your self-esteem, transformation, and the source of power. And with that being, like, your solar plexus on your third chakra, that can also talk about helplessness, excessive control, low self-esteem, and jealousy. So the person you're involved with could be jealous, or you could be jealous, a third party could be jealous. Okay. But this person could also be dealing with some low self-esteem. You collective could be dealing with some low self-esteem, or the third party could be dealing with some low self-esteem. It was 7:37 when I said that. So please keep in mind, like, these characters, like, it could be a reflection not only of the person on your mind, but a reflection of you and what you're dealing with. Okay. Maybe the person is dealing with low self-esteem, and that's why they won't leave someone alone. Okay. They feel like they need that validation or that closure from somebody. Okay. Pocahontas, noble, free-spirited, little mischievous. Okay. So someone could be, a free-spirited person. The person who wants to be left alone could be free-spirited, hence like why they want to be curious with their sexuality. They could be a little mischievous too, so they could do a little gaslighting, manipulation. That person could be life path 8. So they could be ambitious, practical, resourceful, often drawn to careers that involve business, finance, or leadership. So this could be someone who knows how to take a leadership role, who could be a business orientated. So this could be someone who, advances high in the career or starts their own business, want to work for themselves. And this could be the person that has the dairy intolerance, because it did come in under that. So we have boredom and unfulfilled. So somebody's feeling bored right now, and this is coming under hiding my sexuality and curiosity. So this person could be bored right now. They could have just been engaging in a lot of superficial, relationships, casually dating, and now they're getting bored with that. They're getting bored with just casually dating and having hookups, just for sex. They're looking, 919 when I say that, they're looking maybe for something more stable, something more nurturing. So maybe actually settling down and getting into a relationship. Someone could be religious. Someone could have a baby on the way. So, it's been coming out a lot lately that someone could be pregnant. Pregnancy has really been hitting the board a lot lately. This could be something that comes out about the person you left that maybe you didn't know about. Maybe the reason they pulled back is because they had a child with someone else and they feel like they're stuck in that relationship, or they're stuck with that child's parent. They have a responsibility. 1001, when I say that, they have an obligation to them, and maybe they're even trying to get out of that relationship with damn leave me alone. Okay, but someone could have had a child on you or have someone pregnant, and they're feeling annoyed. They're very annoyed. They're angry. They're angry with themselves, and they may be angry with you too, collective, as I say that, because you walked away from that. Maybe you did find out, or maybe your intuition just told you that something wasn't right in the situation. Okay, and they're angry. They're angry for allowing this situation to come about. They're angry at you for walking away from them, because they probably feel like you have abandoned them in some sense. Okay, just someone could like to wear a hat, cap, or scarf. Someone could have been a dancer. The third party, you, them, could be a dancer. They could, could strip or just like to dance, period. I mean, it doesn't even have to be stripping. It could just be someone who just loves dancing. Okay, we have the Disney character Donald Duck. So somebody who's impatient, angry, and short-tempered. So again, twice we have anger out here. Okay, so yeah, somebody's really angry and in their feelings right now with everything, and we're going to clarify that. Content, calmness, and chilled. Like, you might just be calm right now because you walked away from this. You're not dealing with the situation. You removed yourself from it. And then we have family property out here. So someone could be staying on family property, or they could have money tied in with family property. Someone could be looking at maybe a separation, because remember that green does talk about separation as well. Could be looking at separating and looking like how they're going to divide the family property between them. Okay, so let's clarify some of these with here, let me move on the side so that I could do some clarification. Let's bring these down here. Give me one sec, guys. Have them too close together. I need room for clarification. Okay, thank you. All right, so spirit guys, what do we have? Let's clarify hiding my sexuality. What do we have for? Let's see what comes out. And the garden and the gate. Yeah, someone didn't move forward with you in that relationship. That person that was hiding their sexuality, they didn't know like what the future was going to hold with you. They were tied back, in the past. They were tied to past relationships, to past thoughts, past behaviors, addictions. And so they didn't move forward with you, although they wanted to. They did see you as abundant, as nurturing and loving. They wanted to move forward with you, but they couldn't. And it could be that they couldn't because they didn't know if you were going to accept them with their sexuality, okay, and their choices, that what they wanted, because they were curious. They still haven't figured themselves out. Okay. Let me get a tarot clarification on that as well for sexuality. Yeah, it could have been an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, that didn't move forward with you. Somebody who focuses on financial stability, their sense of security. They needed to be secure in their relationship. Somebody who wanted to be in control and possessive. Somebody who held back. Yeah, that's what I said. They held back. They didn't want to proceed with that. Okay. Damn, leave me alone. Clarify that. Woo, you really jumped out. Yeah, somebody that was unhealed. Someone that's unhealed, wasn't listening to their spirit guides. Someone who wasn't able to manifest anything. Actually got involved in a relationship or a situation where they couldn't get out of, okay, with the healer. And this is a 6, so that's a 51, and 51 does turn to a 6 that talks about partnerships and choices, okay. And this is somebody that is feeling extremely out of sorts. and even upside down in their own life. Okay, they're in the midst of some physical problems, or either they're just feeling like they're losing energy. uh, this card with it being in reverse is just saying that this person needs deeper level of healing. They need to take some time and regroup. Okay, this person might be facing mental or physical or even emotional addictive patterns, and they need to like go within and really focus on healing these things about them. Okay, they need to clear away dark and hurtful places of their heart. Yeah, this person needs to understand that God can help heal them. Okay, so they've got involved with someone who definitely has some addictive patterns about themselves. They might have got involved with someone who, because it did talk about emotional and physical problems, so they could have gotten involved with somebody that has some form of disability. It could be a mental disability, or somebody who just has low self-esteem, because that is the sacral chakra that does talk about emotions and sensuality. And one of the adversities of that sacral chakra does talk about being emotional unstable. Okay, somebody who holds some guilt and some shame. So they could be involved with somebody who's just really emotionally unstable. So they could be like, when this person said they want to leave, they're probably crying, putting on a show, causing some drama, not letting that person move. 1616 when I say that. And like emotionally manipulating them to stay behind. Alright, so let's clarify. Let's see. What I want to clarify. Baby on the way. I don't know about this baby on the way. Okay, something tried to come that day. I want to know about baby on the way. What came out? Somebody chose the wrong direction. Somebody had a choice between you and someone else. They didn't know what to choose. They didn't know what direction to go to. This is, and just so we know, we have 3, 4, 5. So this is conflict, also change, also spiritual guidance. Okay, so someone had a choice of 2 directions, and I feel like this person made the wrong direction. Okay, someone that didn't go through the door that they were being spiritually guided to go through, which would have been you. This 8 does talk about karma. It not only talks about karma, but it also talks about courage and inner strength. And it also talks about tameness when passion. So once someone made the wrong choice, they didn't go to you. And you were 34, which is a 7, which is marriage partnerships, which is also spiritual perfection and completion. So if someone would have came to you, could have led to marriage, or you was spiritually guided to come to you, they did not. And it's because their heart was blocked. Okay, they made a choice to go another direction because their heart was blocked. They like compassion. And with Michael the Archangel being out here, this is somebody who needed to protection and courage, someone who needed to release fear and doubt. They were in their head a lot. Okay, and with that also being the 4th chakra, the heart chakra, this is somebody who has dependence and relationship problems. Okay, somebody who could have been going through a separation, or someone could be looking at going through a separation now. And then we have the 3rd chakra out here, which talks about the solar plexus, which, we talked about the self-esteem. So it's the end of a cycle. Someone is ending a cycle of having relationships that's based off of lust. They're really trying to end that cycle, and they want to listen to their intuition now and moving forward to make better decisions. They want to try to partner up with you again, or go into a partnership that's going to be, like I said earlier, that's more of like committed relationship. Okay, so let's see what's going on out here with this family property. So if they're looking at separation, it could be that. Yeah, this family property is being clarified with this man holding a heart. So this man has some family property with something he invested in with somebody from his past. And they're looking at moving forward, like maybe dividing things out, moving away from family situation. Give me something else on that, please. Because they want to come towards love. They want more love in their life. So they could have been living somewhere. It doesn't necessarily have to be like family, like inherited family property. There's somebody who they could have signed a lease, living with someone, just moved in with someone, and they're looking at breaking that lease or seeing what they can do to get out of that situation. 2002 when I say that, so that they can come towards you. Like they were in their head about it, but they're no longer having anxiety about it. Like they made up their mind. They're no longer in their head. They know what they want to do. Give me something else. And they do want to come towards you because that's an 18. So this person, like they were at one point having illusions. They were confused, but they're no longer confused, okay? Because 18 is the moon and it's in reverse. Yeah, but somebody understands that coming out of a situation that, you know, there's going to be a loss of money. They're going to have to really hold on, watch their pennies, because if they're looking at leaving a situation where they were dependent on someone to come towards you, and they have to release some family property, some maybe agreements or contracts that they had, that they're probably going to have to spend some money to get out of that. And also with this being the 13, this is someone putting an end to a situation, okay? They're trying to move on and have a new beginning, okay? So let's get what this boredom and unfulfilled. I don't really know if we need to verify that, clarify that, and something might not come out. Well, we have this one. Yeah, they're bored and they want to walk away. They want to walk away from being in these superficial relationships, and they want to walk towards, they're being spiritually guided, and they want to walk towards you, okay? Someone that they feel is beautiful, intuitive, religious, somebody they have a lot of passion for, a lot of love for. That's what they want to do. They want to walk towards you, okay? So that's going to be some clarification on that. Let's see if we can get, move some of these cards out the way, guys. Some insight, a little bit of hidden truth about them and what's going on in this situation. Let's see what's going on, a little bit of hidden truths about them. What is going on? Spirit God, can you elaborate what's going on with a person on a collective mind? Yeah, they realize that they destroyed the relationship between you. They know that they, well, you see it here, effed up. They effed up, they destroyed, they broke your trust. They broke the image that you had of them. They know that you no longer see them, you know, in the way that you used to, because of how they behaved and carry on with themselves in this relationship. Like, you see them in a whole different light. They shattered the dreams of you guys actually having a future together. They know you may not want to work on that. They know at one point, like, this was a love story. Like, there was a beautiful dream of you guys coming together and having a loving relationship. So they know that that's what they destroyed. And they want to have this with you again, okay? Yeah, here we are, guys, again with this pregnancy test. So, again, someone could be pregnant. Someone could have had a child. Someone could be unsure if a child is there, or unsure if someone is pregnant from them. But pregnancy also, too, could be a new beginning. So they could be unsure that you're going to want to have a new beginning with you. But see, here we go again with expecting. Okay, so we have 3 cards out here on the board that talks about pregnancy. So I really feel like, so your person got somebody pregnant, or your person became pregnant from someone else. All right, they started a new beginning with someone, and what they're being like one child and one on the way. They could have gone to someone that they already had a child with, and they could now be pregnant, so they could have actually 2 kids with this person, or somebody they were just building a family with, okay? But we do have that. What else, Spirit Guides? Yeah, somebody that viewed you as tantric sex, okay? So with the tantric sex being out here, you actually were, a healing, you have a healing kind of love for them. Like when you guys were together, like it was very tantric. Like you helped to heal them with your womb, your sex, so your energy, you had a divine energy, okay? But this person, like, they just had like an outdated way of thinking. And it says expired, disused, old news, discarded. This person discarded you for another relationship. They also could have heard something about you, or someone could have shared some news about you. Maybe somebody you knew from the past. Maybe someone was putting things in their ears, telling them stuff, or maybe someone you knew from back in the day, or knew you and knew of some things that you did or how you used to be, and they told them, but you're no longer like that. You've changed and you've grown. You're not that person. But someone also could be reading or researching something about you, or think that you have some old patterns, or somebody could have just had old patterns about themselves, or hooked up with somebody that they knew from the past. Okay, so let's put that out there as well. All right, what else? Yeah, they're in a toxic relationship, okay? And not only that, but because this falls under love story, they had toxic behaviors in your relationship, okay? You view them as being toxic now, okay? Yeah, and so it caused you to run away, and somebody could actually trying to run away from somebody that got pregnant from them. You collective could have got pregnant from them and they ran away from your relationship, or you could have a child by them and they ran from both you and a child and left you alone to deal with that child, okay? Or someone just wants to get away from a karmic third party who's pregnant. They're realizing that they have fake friends, okay, around them. They could have started in the beginning with somebody that they told you was just a friend to them, but that was obviously more than a friend, and it was somebody that they were building and they were seeing and they were involved with on the side. Or it could have been somebody who they were friends with, like somebody they went to school with, someone they knew around the neighborhood, someone they knew in the community, and maybe they were friends, and maybe they were just hooking up with somebody who was a friend, but it turned out to be more than a friend. But either way, this person could be realizing too that they have fake friends around them, people who gave them, who were toxic as well, so people that didn't need to discard, or maybe people who gave them information about you that pulled them away from you, okay? But somebody that was hiding something with the shades on, somebody that was hiding like the true them. They were wearing a mask, so to speak. And this person, their friends could have been looking through rose-colored glasses. Your person could have been looking through rose-colored glasses at these friends and thinking that these were some true friends. Or either person they got involved with, they could have been looking through rose-colored glasses and seeing them in a different light, and now they're seeing them for who they really are. Yeah, and again, angry. Third card, unangry. After finding out a lot that's been going on, this person is dealing with some anger management. They're stressed. They have a lot on their mind. They want to scream. They realize that they allow these friends to cause you to run away, to get in their ear, to disrupt their relationship. They told too much to their friends, like they spoke about you. Maybe their friends didn't want to see them with you, okay? But this person really has to be angry with themselves, guys, is how I feel. Because if they let these fake friends tell them something to cause them to come between your relationship, like they allowed it. Because whatever their friends could have said to them, they didn't have to listen. They could have brought it to your attention. They could have discussed it with you, given you an opportunity to speak for yourself, okay? 28 when I say that. But they allowed to listen to these friends, not give you an opportunity to hear your side or dispute anything about any outdated news or whatever they could have heard about you. And so they just listened to one side, and it caused them to make a decision. So this person at this point really needs to check themselves. They need to check themselves about their behaviors. They need to check the boxes off of old patterns, because you see how these are patterns, like patterns that they have that are just outdated. Their behavior, the role that they played. They need to see where they are to be held accountable, okay? What else? Anything else out here? Thank you. Yeah, somebody had hookups. They were hooking up with a third-party person. You may have found out about this. Okay, red might mean something to someone. Could be a nickname. Could just be a color. Could be passion. They will have passionate sex with someone. Yeah, someone didn't use sexual protection. Okay, they could have actually. In this comes the sexual protection does come under like pregnancy test. So it's the confirmation on this pregnancy. Okay, someone could possibly have baby with someone. They could have caught something from someone. They could have been hooking up with, third parties that are not faithful or loyal, but sleeping around with other people. They could have actually paid for sex, hooked up with, just nighttime streetwalkers. Okay, because this looks like a prostitute in here. And see, she's holding money in her hand. So someone that they were giving money, they were paying for to get their way. Okay, someone who accepts money or just date guys to feed off of them for money. Somebody who could be envious of you. They're fake friends, because this comes under fake friends. Could have been envious of you in a relationship that you were having, and they didn't want to see that person move on with you. This also could be, because it's also in the role with expecting someone that they could have had a child with, was envious of you, and they don't want to see your person move on and be happy with you, because they want them for themselves. They want to hold on to them for themselves, because this also is under the role of damn, 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 leave me alone. So this person was just really holding on to them because they didn't want to see them move towards you or have a family with you. Okay? Or have happiness, even just happiness with you. And they probably know that this person wants to come back to you. But, they're realizing that the person that they were with is for the trash. They need to kick them to the curb, okay? It's a throwaway. They need to get rid of them. They need to toss them out. This person has some really trashy, negative attitudes and behaviors about them. Okay. Yeah, this person got caught up. They got caught up in a situation. They were cheating in their demise. They're finding evidence, possibly about the person that they're with, that they were cheating, and maybe this is why they think they're unsure about this pregnancy. This person got caught up, by you cheating, okay, on them, and this is what caused you to move away from their relationship, because they were being promiscuous and they were messing around with somebody that was promiscuous, a free for all, somebody who sleeps around. Okay, and you just said game over. Like you said, I'm done with this relationship. I don't want to move forward. Like, you broke your heart. See the heart in there with the crack in it is a broken heart. Also, if you look on there too, there's money down there. So I told you, like, somebody could have been paying for, sex. They went into a situation that was not based on love. Okay, with the heart being there. All right, and so this caused the relationship to come to an end. Okay, so we'll look at some loving messages, something that they wish they could say to you, since you're not interacting with them now at this current time. Let's look at some things they want to say to you. What's the spirit guides? Yeah. They want to tell you that they lacked confidence. That's why they didn't come towards you. They self-sabotaged this relationship out of ego and fear. They're frustrated. They feel tied to a situation. They don't feel like they're enough. They don't feel like they can give you what you need. They are reminiscing about you. Okay. They're trying to learn from the past. They wish they can go back. They're looking at old photos or pictures. They could be researching your social media. They do feel like they are your twin flame or their soulmate. Okay, they wish that they can bring this back into union. This person was polar opposite of you, but you guys seem to have complemented each other. Okay, they see that you're working on your self-worth. They need to take time to heal. They need to work on their self-worth. They need to do some shadow work so that they can learn to appreciate themselves. Okay, there are some things that they need to heal. Yeah. This person knows they were doing a lot of partying. They were out there. They were living their life. They were having fun. They were living in the moment. They were spending a lot of time with their friends, and they got into a situation, that that they shouldn't have, okay? Because we have wedding rings in reverse. I normally don't take these in reverse, but I am going to read this in reverse. Like somebody wants to get out of a marriage. They could have been married or had a long-term relationship with somebody, and it's not a soul connection. They were partying. It was just hookups. They got into something that it's not everlasting love, and they want to remove themselves from that situation. They want to separate. They're trying to get away. And I say that because we had these damn leave me alone. We had these separations, okay? Somebody who needs time to get out of the situation that they're in. They need time to heal. They're repeating cycles right now. They need to pay some karmic debt, okay? And before they can proceed forward with you. You know, they do want to have an abundant future with you. They do see you as positive. They're trying to manifest you back. They're trying to manifest some good, blessings. All right, and you do have abundance coming in for you. Is there anything else? Just the one. Okay, just the one more message they would like to say. Yeah, they want to have a new beginning with you. Okay. They realize that this relationship has come to an end. They want to end some cycles with them. They do know they need to transform. They need to put an end to their way of thinking, the past hurt. They need to heal, okay? They don't want to see this relationship come to an end. All right, so let's get an angel message, and then we'll wrap this reading up. Yeah, this person made a lot of mistakes. They made a lot of bad choices, okay? And it caused them, those choices caused them to, yeah, it says you're ready. You're ready to move on. You're ready to let this go. You're ready to heal. You're ready to move forward to a new beginning, to what, you're ready for new changes. You do know that you have big, happy changes coming in for you, and you're ready to move forward with that, okay? You know that you need to get more information. You feel like you need more information. If there's more information that you feel like you need in order to move forward, in order to choose a new direction, you need to ask the spirit guides. The angels are there. You need to look within, pray on it, meditate on it, ask your angels, all right? They're here to help you. Don't compromise yourself. Don't compromise your goals, your wishes, your wants, okay? Because in the near future, when you finish recovering from all of this, you're going to receive abundance, okay? So you really need to reconsider, if you're trying to reconsider going back to someone in your past, okay, wait, because it's not the right time, okay? Listen to your intuition. They will guide you where you need to go, okay? So that's what I have for you today. I hope that this reading resonated with you. If so, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I welcome all comments to you. Okay. All right. Thank you.